Salutations, beautiful dreamers. This is Sparrow Swift from the desk, and today I'm going to talk about the process of publishing a book. Okay, guys. As you may know, my new book is coming out the 15th, but I wanted to talk about the process that I went through to get this book to where it is, because it took about 3 months after I decided to publish it, and I'm almost done with it now because all I got left is the marketing, which should be marketed in August. Now you can order the book, pre-order it, but just letting you know it's not going to be released till the 15th of June, and it's going to be marketed in August, but you can still buy it before, which is what I would encourage you to do. But I'm going to talk about how all my books start. Okay, first off, some people are really good at sitting down at the computer and typing out what they want to say. Some people are really great at that. I am not one of those people. Okay? What I've got here is how all my books start. This is something I started a couple months ago. I'll probably finish it not soon. But this is how all my books start. Written out, analog. I take a pen, piece of paper, and I write. That's just how everything starts. I just find it easier just to sit there and just focus on what I'm writing instead of typing things out, because I'm not a very fast typer. I can type out pretty proficiently, but I'm not fast, and it just slows down the flow of my thinking if I'm sitting there typing. But all my books start like this, or if I feel like it's extra special or extra important, they get written into a journal like this. The first thing I wrote in this thing was a book that I had been working on in my head. See, everything starts in my head. A thought, an observation, a word. Just, I don't know how it happens, guys. It would be very difficult for me to explain, but usually when I come up with an idea for a book, I think of something that I've never noticed before, like fog, or the kind of fog that makes a person feel depressed, or just a word or a phrase that sounds interesting that I chase to the end and say, hey, let me put this in a book because it sounds interesting, or let this be the main focus of the book because this is interesting. So I do that. That's the way things start with me normally. But after I get that word or phrase and I chase it down to what I think would be a good idea, I write it down because I'll forget it if I don't. So after I finish writing a book, I turn to the next phase, which is the typing phase. Yay! It's where I take what I've written down here and I type it out. And forget this. This is a sequel to one of the books I wrote, but I type it out and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna type this thing out, and then I print it out, and then after a couple days I start to go through it myself. See, most of the mistakes that are easy to fix, I notice when I'm typing it out. I'll be typing it out on the computer, and I'll notice a word or a phrase or a sentence that doesn't sound quite correct, and I'll fix it right then, so I won't have to deal with it when it's printed. And then I sit down and I go through it, and it helps if I read it out loud because then I can actually see more mistakes that way. But I run through it myself. I'll probably have my grandparents or my mother run through it if they have time. If not, I put it into a program called Grammarly. Now, Grammarly is a program that goes through the text and finds mistakes that you normally wouldn't see. Now, let me say this. None of the programs or companies that I'm mentioning have actually sponsored this video. This is all me, guys. This is just stuff that I've used. This is not sponsored by them at all, okay? So after I run it through Grammarly, I sit on it for a couple of months, years, days, weeks, depends. But for this last book, I sat on it for about a year or two, just going through it and trying to find the mistakes that I knew I made. And then I wanted to look into publishing. Now, there was a company that did offer me a publishing deal, but I had to pay them X amount of money, and I had my cousin and my uncle do some research, and they're like, no, don't do it. They're a horrible company. Do not do it. So I was like, okay, I guess I won't be doing that. But they told me, look into self-publishing again. Because the first book I self-published, I did the formatting, the editing, all that. And then I was like, okay, this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So So I got onto Barnes & Noble's press, and I looked up what they did, and I found everything I need, guys. Editors, cover designers, formatters, just everything that I really needed. So I was like, okay. So I was a little bit hesitant, but I finally got some money together and gave my baby, books are my babies, just so you know, the books I write are my babies. I gave it to an editor and let her go through it. Now that took 2 months, but while she was working on the book, I thought, okay, since she's working on the book, I'm gonna work on the cover. So I got on to 99 Designs, which is a really good company, and I did what they call a contest, which is where I put my book idea out there and what I wanted, and people who wanted to design for me competed to do my book design. And yes, I paid them, and I got to choose which book design I want and which one I enjoyed more and thought would be better. And the person was really good, because when there was a mistake with it, they would fix it right away. Within like a day or a couple of hours, it would be fixed, and they would stay in contact with me and tell me what was going on. So after that, I chose the book cover, and then I got my manuscript back from the editor. It was bleeding red, guys. It had so many mistakes that I wouldn't have even noticed had I not seen them, had she not pointed them out to me. I mean, we're talking grammar, we're talking spelling, we're talking things that just didn't make sense, things that need to be fixed, and things that need to be improved, and I did plot holes that I just did not notice. So she told that to me. She told me what was wrong. So I went through the book and I fixed every single mistake that she marked. Every single mistake that needed to be fixed, I fixed, and it was done. Look, this is done. Done. And then came the formatting. I found an interior designer that her designs were just, they're breathtaking. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Sent me some ideas that she thought I would like, and I picked which one I liked, and she did the interior design. And so then it was just the fact of putting it into the Barnes & Noble's thing, which it takes a lot, guys. It takes a lot of time, energy, and just mental capacity, because there was mistakes in the book, and there's mistakes in the formatting, and mistakes in the cover design. My fault, totally. I didn't tell them I wanted my book 5x8, and so I had to contact the cover designer and say, can you please reformat this into a 5x8? And they were really generous. They're like, sure, we don't mind, I'll do it for free. You know, and next time, it's just a learning curve. Next time I'm just going to tell the cover designer I need a 5x8 design. And so there was that, and then I was reading through it, my mom read through it, and she found a mistake. My heart dropped into my feet. I was like, all that work and one mistake, and it was pretty sizable, guys. The words were mixed up and it didn't make sense. The sentence did not make sense, so I tried to change it into the PDF format, but I can't change PDF files. So I had to contact the formatter and said, look, there's a sentence that just doesn't make sense. Can you change it? And she was generous enough to say, sure, I'll change it. She changed it for me, and she sent me a file that actually I could change if I wanted to, if I found more things. But the thing was, I couldn't open the file because I didn't have the right programs, but she was generous enough to give me the PDF format that was actually fixed. So, guys, that's the way something like this transforms into something like this. See? It's mine. It has my name, my pen name, and everything on it. It's mine. I wrote it, and I'm very happy about it. It comes out through the teeth. But that's the process, guys. And if you're an author who wants to, do this, and an author that wants to publish, look into self-publishing, guys. I really encourage you to do that. Don't just choose something because you're like, well, I'm not going to get a better deal than this. No, guys. Do the work and do your research, and maybe you'll find a better site than I did. But Barnes & Noble people, they've done right by me. So, guys, if you are out there and you want to publish, then publish. And if you have a job, don't just say, oh, she said publish, I'm just going to quit my job. Don't quit your job. Do not do that. You're going to need your job, because I had to pay for everything that I had done. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. This is News Swift from the desk. Beautiful dreams.